welcome back to this week's video. So as you can see, the layout is not like usual, and I also got rid of my doors that I love so much. I'm actually moving in not too long, so I had to rearrange my space so I could work again. So yeah, this is gonna be the new layout for a couple video. I don't know how much, but after that we're gonna be back to a new setup for I don't know how long after that, but it's gonna be a new setup. I kind of didn't jump on the hype when it was happening, but I am really in love with Arcane right now, and I thought it would be a good idea to do something from Arcane. The only thing is, I know that on my channel I do a lot of dolls, and I saw a lot of Jinx doll and Vi doll. They're super pretty, but I don't want to be like everybody else. So I thought I would combine some ideas that I did before, and one of the things that I have a lot on my channel is LSP restoration houses. So I thought I would do that, but for Arcane. And I actually had the perfect LSP house for that. It was so perfect for this project. I had it listed on Marketplace, in fact, like for a month about, and it didn't sell. So I was just like, nobody wants it, I'm gonna use it. So I'm not gonna make you wait any longer, so let's go to the video. So this is the house in its full glory. It is the LSP Clubhouse playset in orange. Just like that, it may not do Arcane, but it gave me the vibe of the Firelight's hideout, which I'm not gonna recreate, but going to take a lot of inspiration of. Now, like before starting any playhouse restoration, I will remove the old stickers. This time, I didn't care how much cotton pad I used and just soaked them before placing them where there was some space. I really didn't want to wait and move my pad along the sections. So for this time, I just put all the pads at once, which made the removing so much easier than all the times before. You know, I try to be eco-friendly when I can and reuse or use less, but today was just so tempting. For the base color, I chose black, so I'm just gonna do a quick spray paint outside and I'll be right back. And now we will welcome the void. This thing is so dark. So just before I start with the colors and everything, I thought I would show you a little sketch of what I did. I know I'm pushing the idea a little bit onto this playhouse, but I think this drawing could have been added to the show, and with their editing magic, they could have blended right into the background, no problem. So back to the painting, I'm gonna start with the gray background. I think that underneath all this green chemical alteration light all around Zaun is just some old metal structure, which I think is one of the hardest color to create in real life. So I went with the black background to help me add some dimension with the metal color I'm trying to achieve. For that, I kind of airbrushed the surface with gray, making sure not to cover the black completely, making sure I go with lighter gray along the way. Next step I wanted to tackle was the tree. I went with a green that I thought looked like a tree color, but without the leaves or stuff like that, I know it's gonna look flat, but I will for sure add some dimension later when both sides are fully dried. In the meantime, it was about 10ish at night by this point. Kind of my fault for starting this right after work, but I'm gonna take this opportunity to do something that's gonna take some time to dry, and that's the rusty color. While looking at Echo's tree, I could see that the pipe in the background had some rust running down. Even though you cannot see it on every building, if the city is really running down, you could expect some metal everywhere to be rusting. So I just watered down a color close to rust and let it play its course. There wasn't really a way I wanted this to go, I just did it until I was happy with the result. Next morning, I don't know why, but the only thing I wanted to do was the roof pieces, so here it comes. I went with the turquoise color just because I think it looks like the colors of the lights in Zaun. so a lot of the building kind of reflects that color. There was also a little bit of turquoise on this building, so here goes the explanation for that. And of course, I also went back a little bit on the rust I did last night, just to make sure the places where the rust is supposed to start dripping pops a little bit more. I was now ready for the inside and I didn't know what to do, but I was still inspired by the firelight, so I based myself off the altar the people did for their loved one, which for now it's gonna look like a lot of rectangle of different color. At the same time, since my mix was done, I went and painted some area that needed some color, like the window frame and some small flower that I really wanted to cover in some way, so I just added some yellow. In a way, I thought it recalled the green and blue colors splashed in this picture. Back on the inside, for the flooring, I wanted a wood color, so let me just add that off cam. Now onto a fun color, let's go with purple. Purple is known for the shimmer in the show, which was used on Jinx. I do not think I remember seeing some on buildings or stuff like that, but I also wanted to break from the greens all around the playhouse. Now that this is done, one of the small detail I wanted to add is Jinx graffitis. It wasn't easy to know how I was gonna do the graffitis because I do have limited space. So I took some of her iconic symbol like the pow pow, the monkey, vice tattoo, her bomb, and placed them in the best spots for them. And for the flowers that was embedded in the playhouse, I just went with her scribbles. And for the inside, I added some drawing from the altar, also in Jinx color, just to do a recall. There's only 3 small details left to put on, and the first one is of course the altar picture that Echo did. The colors are not as saturated as in the show, but my printer just can do so much, so we'll just leave it like that. So for the next part, I'm so sorry about the lighting and like how everything was placed. The light that was reflecting from the paper messed my camera so much, but I think this makes the bill. It looks so good with the picture at the end. You're gonna see, wait for it. And for the last detail, I'm not gonna forget Echo's clock that I just put right there, and the Firelights logo. So with that, let's go to the final shot.